All right.
Yeah.
So, guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we are in Lithuania today, and we have a very special guest who will be joining us. So, guys, you know how we roll here. As you come onto the video, do say hello. Let me know where you are watching us from. And of course, if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Eva Mtali, and here we talk mostly about travel, we talk about relocation, we talk about jobs abroad, we talk about moving abroad, studying abroad, living abroad, and the whole journey. And once in a while, I bring to you guests from around the world who have taken the bold step to go and find greener pastures in other countries. And today we are very fortunate to have with us a guest, Eric. Eric is from Kenya, and he moved from Kenya to Lithuania, where he currently lives. And I am just excited to have him here. So, guys, please show Eric some love in the comment section below. Make him feel at home. And if you have any questions for him, you are welcome. Put them in the comment section below. We are going to answer all your questions about working in Lithuania, jobs in Lithuania, all those questions you've always wanted to know about Lithuania. Today, we are going to answer them. So, Eric, welcome to the channel. We are so excited to have you here. Feel at home. And the best thing about our audiences, they are very, very respectful. They are very kind. So don't even worry about anything. It's going to be well. So by way of introduction, I will request Eric to introduce himself. Let us know who is Eric. And just a little background about yourself, especially like growing up in Kenya. What was that like? So over to you, Eric.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Eva, for inviting us. Being a Sunday, of course, we are all from church, and we are happy to be here. We thank God. My name is Eric Mwoki Chuvi. Mwoki wa Chuvi. Mkamba kutoka Makueni. So I've lived, of course, I've lived in Kenya for a very long time. I've worked in different parts of Kenya, nimesomea Kenya, and fast forward, here we are. So basically, this is a Kamba from Makueni, not even Nairobi. Nimeleta shamba yote Lithuania. So asante sana, Eva.
So you can let us know a little bit, what was it like growing up in Makueni? Like, tell us about your childhood a little bit, going to high school, university, all that. How was that like? So that we can have a background and know who we are talking to.
So it was very interesting growing up in Kenya, in Makueni. Of course, my background is a bit of up country. Nilikuwa tu mtu wa ushago, say like up until we joined the University of Nairobi. So I schooled in Makueni, I schooled in Machakos School. Then I got admitted at the University of Nairobi. I took a course in Bachelor of Commerce. I majored in supply chain management. So it's quite interesting just doing the normal Kenyan school system and getting to interact with classmates who in future, of course, are what we call now networks. Actually, your networks today are those people who are schooling with you and your childhood friends and everyone. So after that, my career life has been quite interesting. Just like most of the people, I got a job with a local bank after campus. I worked there for 4 years. I wasn't satisfied. I needed to do more, so I joined the non-governmental sector, the non-profit, I would say. So I moved from corporate and transitioned to non-profit, still under supply chain. So up until I left the country, I was in my third NGO. So I worked in different NGOs, doing different charity work in the country. And then now I was doing well in my career, I would say, up until late last year when I decided now to grow further. And that's how I ended up here.
So I'm curious, Eric, which years are these we are talking about? When did you graduate from UON?
So let me put it to perspective, as a man. I am 35 years old. So, so being 35, of course, I'm an 80s baby. So in the UN, let me say UN because as you grow, your lower education level is irrelevant. Like at the moment, no one really cares where you went to high school or what you scored. They care about maybe your post high school education mostly. So even
Uh-huh.
now, yeah. So yeah.
Uh-huh. So when you left the University of Nairobi, you say you worked in a bank. What was your position at the bank when you
So I
finished?
joined NCBA Bank. That time it was called Commercial Bank of Africa.
Uh-huh.
And just to let the audience know, I'm very restless, and I never settle. It's a skill that that I have adopted, I think, as an adaptation over the years, and it's an important skill for everyone listening. Not really to get comfortable anywhere, unless of
Mm-hmm.
course you are self-employed. For as long as you are helping someone else build a dream, never get comfortable. So in the bank, I worked in over 7 departments because
What? In 4 years?
yes, I was trying, you know, to find my feet. Anytime I get an opportunity to work, I am always trying to do better and better and better, and working with my supervisor to see how, just get feedback on how I'm doing and how, better I can be tomorrow. And that is what we call consistency and just building a culture of excellence where you keep improving. So interestingly, the first job in the bank was not really related to what I studied. We
Mm-hmm.
got a short-term contract. We were supposed to. Um, the bank was working with Britam to do what they call, like a dissemination of the annual bonuses, like when they pay out shareholders. So those
Mm-hmm.
days they would have those checks. So we were tasked to put the checks in the envelopes, seal them, arrange them, based on the postal addresses. So you can imagine, sealing envelopes. Imagine Aisha unachukua mata umeseal
A
and,
graduate. That is a graduate,
and
of
a graduate,
university.
and the contract was for 5 days.
Uh-huh.
So I went there, did it for 5 days. We did very well, over 15,000 customers. Na tulikuwa tu
Mm-hmm.
watano. So it's like literally everyone,
3,000 envelopes.
yes, everyone sealed 3,000 envelopes and addressed them.
600 per day. 600
Yes,
envelopes per day.
yes, unafanya hadi there's not even a lunch break. Na hiyo siku unalipwa per day. And this is an international bank. I mean, it's a bank that was then in like the entire East Africa. So one day I asked God, like I left the university to come and seal envelopes, and
Envelopes.
I was not happy. So nikaenda kulilia Uhuru Park. Went bought some bananas apple and then sat there and wondered, like why? Then I came back
Mm-hmm.
to my supervisor, and
Uh-huh.
when everyone was leaving, I told my supervisor, while we were working at the bank sealing envelopes, I developed an interest in banking. So I told them that I would really, really, really like to work for that bank because when we were doing because we were on temporary staff, we did not have access to the bank. For the banks, you have to keep accessing the doors. So I'd see people come and neatly, nicely dressed with suits, and they would pull out that
Swipe.
swipe. Yes, that's the one. Thank you. So they would swipe, one door after the other, and I would imagine myself being that person, like, and then I was called for a 3-month contract, then a 1-year contract. Then one day opportunities arose, permanent opportunities, and I got a job. So I worked I have background in, card management, I have different in human resources, in asset financing, name them, branch banking, like, teller service, customer service. So it was quite interesting. And all those small bits of your story, form, part of your journey and where you are. So don't ignore any part of your story, however humbling it is. Those small pieces of information are what really in future shape your journey and give you what we call now a destiny. It's like you are being redirected just to the path that God really designed for you. So hata ukiambiwa ndo ufagie barabara, fine, do it
Yeah,
very
do
well.
it well. Do it
Yes,
well. Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious. So, how did you transition now from the corporate, the bank, and then move to the NGO? How did you manage to do that?
All right. It was very interesting because while working at the branch as a teller, when you are a teller on the other side of the glass, you are able to see people's accounts. So I would have customers. Customers would come from different, different. I would say some are employed, others are self-employed. Yes,
Sectors, eh?
different sectors. So they would come to the branch to withdraw money or deposit money, and I would get an opportunity to run their accounts. Just as part of my work. So I started noticing that certain organizations were paying better than others. So I got to ask the customers, like, where do you work? How is it? Do you really enjoy what you do? Why are you dressed casually on a Monday, yet I am in a suit and a tie, like just trying to relate. And I realized non-governmental, offices like NGO staff were earning way more in six figures, even for junior opportunities. So one day I went to an NGO targeted and I called the reception, asked the reception, how much do you want? The reception told me, my gross salary is 115,000. And I asked the, receptionist, what's your education level? She told me, I'm a diploma holder. And I said, okay, fine. So a diploma holder in an NGO is earning 115,000. I have a degree in supply chain management, a few years of experience. I can earn 150,000. So, so I started applying for jobs. Of course, I strategized. And then when an opportunity arose, I gave the notice. It's always important to leave employment in good terms. So I discussed with my immediate supervisor about my career growth, and that's how I transitioned to the NGO. And then I kept growing now within the NGO sector.
So, what was your first position in the NGO world?
So I've been lucky to really work under the NGO, of course, practice what I studied. So I got a position as a logistics officer. My work was to manage facilities, manage fleet, the vehicles, drivers and the vehicle, as well as, do a bit of procurement, a bit of admin stuff. So supply chain is it's quite wide, and my interests were mostly in transport management, procurement and admin. I didn't want to do, the complex supply chain at that point because it was entry level, and I needed to find my way around and identify areas of interest. So it was a logistics officer position, and then Geo was dealing with HIV research, treatment and care. So it was quite interesting just to see our impact, because you have to connect when you're working. You have to connect what you do and how impactful it is to the end, whether it's a customer or it's anyone you're trying to help out there. So I was trying to connect what I was doing in the office and how it was affecting someone out there in the field. At the moment you realize that what you are doing is very impactful, you get what you call now purpose, like a motivation to keep doing it over and over again because your actions are positively affecting someone on the other side. Yeah.
So, would you say your experience at the bank contributed in any form or shape to you getting your first role at the NGO?
Interestingly, yes, because bank really trains you. As a young person, bank trains you, number one, to be disciplined. Every single banker is disciplined. They know how to manage time. They know how to manage, just organize their work, because as you know, if a bank is opening at 8:30, it doesn't care where the employees live. Whether you live in Kitengela or Machakos or Kangemi, you have to show up right on time for the bank to open. The bank will not fail to open because the employees did not come. So that level of discipline, and dressing for the part of the job, and confidentiality, and all those skills of, meticulousness and operational excellence contributed all. And that's what we call now the transferable skills. Like you're able to
Okay.
transfer skills from one sector to another. Yes.
Mhm. Oh, great. Okay, so and you said you stayed in the NGO world for how long?
It was a very, very, very it was a very long career. I mean, according to me, because from 2017, up until 2023, that's 5 years. I mean, five clean
5 years
years.
in the NGO
Yeah.
world with three
Yes.
different NGOs, right?
Yes. So my target has always been in employment. I have a personal, policy.
Mm-hmm.
I did not stay in an organization for more than 2 years after banking.
Oh,
Yes, so I did 1 year, 8 months in the local NGO. Then I wanted to move to an international NGO that did, greater, or rather was more impactful. So I did another 1 year, 8 months. And then, of course, now previously where I was working is where I would say I stayed for longer. Yeah, so two
okay.
years.
So what did you what was your, like, what role was the wrapping up? Like, how did you wrap up your journey now in Kenya? At what position now?
So now I grew, when you're growing from office, entry level, say like an assistant, you want to move to officer, you want to move to a senior officer or supervisor, just like that. So initially when I joined, I didn't have, like reportees. I just had one intern. So I imagined myself as a manager in my career. I needed to work with people, to mentor people. So I kept looking for positions that would offer me that. And I just got that, where initially it was working with drivers, of course, supervising them. And then, of course, you grow, you get maybe administrative staff you are supervising. So by the time I left, I had a team. I actually left just a week or two after I was promoted. So,
To
so I,
what position? What position were you holding
so I
then?
was managing. I was a transport manager, purely
Oh,
just transport manager. Yes. So
okay.
I Yeah, so yeah, thank you. I was just a transport manager.
Okay, great. And did you have to do any other additional courses from your first degree at University of Nairobi, or you just went along with your first degree?
Yes, it's very important in our career to have, you know, school just gives you a training. School helps you to think, you graduate with, a second upper or a second lower pass or a first class, fine. But when you want to specialize in your career in what you do, there are certain professional qualifications that you need. It's very important. Just like accounting, people have CPA or SCCA, or HR have the HRM. Even logistics and supply chain have, for procurement, they have what they call the CIPS or KISIM, Kenya Institute of Supplies Management qualification. So I
Mhm.
got the Kenya Institute of Supply Chain Management qualification so that I can practice in Kenya. And then because I had plans now to move out of Kenya later, I got Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, as well as Chartered Institute of Logistics and Supply. So even as you work, you can set aside some savings or some funds for this professional purpose. Yes, you are working to help your employer build their dream, but on the side, you are also building yours. So you are developing yourself slowly, adding knowledge and skills and all these qualifications. So don't forget about yourself as you help your employer build their dream.
Oh, great. Thank you. So maybe now the part where everybody's waiting for.
Yeah.
Can you share the story of how you made the decision to move from Kenya to Lithuania?
Uh, yeah, so finally, we can talk about Lithuania. And just
Mhm,
to take everyone back, I did not come to Lithuania by chance. There was no
mhm,
luck. It did not happen. It is a story that dates way back to after high school. In
mhm,
2006, I wanted to move out of the country to go and study. So
mhm.
I have tried 7 times to move out of the country unsuccessfully. So
Wow,
I
7 countries. Tell us about them.
actually, my first passport stayed for 10 years until expiry without a single stamp.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a passport. There was no opportunity to travel up until it expired. So this is just to encourage anyone who has a passport and they've not gotten a chance,
Uh-uh.
to
I tell them waende Namanga. They go to
yeah,
Namanga, get a stamp, come back. Waende Busia, wapate stamp,
they
warudi.
have gotten a stamp warudi. Yeah.
Yes.
So I tried going to the US in 2007, to study. But of course, mnajua mambo za US and visa. I was not prepared then, and I did not have enough knowledge like what I have now. And there was no one to guide us like what Eve is doing. Thank you. So I did not get that visa. And then I kept trying different countries. I tried the UK, but the requirements were, like it's always, sometimes about money and,
Mhm.
just as part of the preparation. And I tried going to Scotland, several times. I tried Norway. So every time I would fail, there was always, of course, a reason to attribute to it. So the only thing I did is I continued my life even as I tried on the side. That way I would always, like fall back to my original plan. So I did not like stop everything to try. So late in 2000 and in 2021, I think 2020, yeah, when COVID came.
Mhm.
When COVID came, most of my friends were affected. They lost jobs, and it was very tough for most Kenyans. And that, you know, sort of gave me a thought about how well we prepare for the future. Are we prepared for these things? And what if they happen? Do we really know what to do? So I ignited again my dream to leave the country and seek for opportunities. But this time round, I was going to do it the right way. I was going to get the right information. I would have, the right preparation in terms of finances and, everything that needed to be done. And because I was working now, I made it a project. So that is how I ended up now successfully exiting. Even at the height of my career, when you are sometimes making changes, do not wait until it's like prayer. Don't wait until you are suffering. It's only when you run to God. Even when you're doing well, you have to run to God again. Even on your best days, to just say thank you. So I did not leave because I was escaping anything. I left because I needed to grow.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up after all those trials now to really, really, really sit down and come up with a plan. So I took a manila paper. I am one person who writes down in notebooks, anything that I need to do, and I keep track of my records. So if you ever want to leave Kenya successfully or your country and move to a more developed country, you must put down your plan. Just don't have it in the mind. Make sure that you put it down and you follow through, you track it. So I took a big manila paper, a yellow one. I went to my bedroom, I stuck it there, and I had different columns. I kept it for an entire year. So I had the different months of the year and the activities that were involved, including the finances that were needed. So I would track like in November, I'm supposed to put aside this amount and I'm supposed to contact, this agency. Initially, it wasn't really about school. Initially, it was about work. But then I realized that there were challenges with the visas and, just general, permissions just to relocate to other country. So I discovered that one of the easiest ways to move to a new country, if you don't have many opportunities, is through school.
Mhm.
School offers one of the most, I would say, like the easiest and the hassle free and less costly, I would say. So I took that road for, search of education. So I needed to do my master's. I had opportunities to do it locally. I actually enrolled in JKUAT, but still, when I compared the quality of masters, home and in Europe, of course, I chose Europe. Yeah, so that was my just brief description of how I put together, things. Just yeah.
Thank you for that. So you went to Lithuania as a student, right?
Yes, I came here. Yes, but there's a part to it.
Mm-hmm.
As I looked for opportunities in America, in Canada, in Europe, when I was searching for information, I was very deliberate. I needed to do different things concurrently. I needed to do things at the same time. I did not want just to study and stop working because I would have a career gap. And I would have to explain that, I had to stop working, go study, come back to work. No. So I needed a country that
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
No, it's fine. Sorry. So I knew that.
Your volume is low, please. I don't know why I'm getting an echo.
And now, can you hear me?
Yeah, but kwa umbali. I don't know if it's me. Guys, let me know in the comments if it's me or I'm hearing an echo.
Oh, there's an echo in my background.
I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments section. Is it me? Just go on, but I'm just hearing an echo.
I don't know. Maybe. But let me remove. Bluetooth. And now, is the echo still there?
Hello? No,
Yes,
it's still. I don't know
okay.
why.
I don't know. Let me try putting on my Bluetooth.
Guys, let me know in the comments. Is it me who's hearing the echo or they're saying they can't hear you? Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you, but the echo is still there.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
is the echo still there? So I don't know. Maybe I can move to my room.
No, Oro, did you change any setting?
No, it just got disconnected and I connected again.
Oh man, I don't know what I need to do. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's fine. I'm just trying to see if there's any setting that maybe.
Yeah, they said there's an echo on my side. I don't know. Do I end and then come back?
No, it's fine. I mean,
Okay, guys, let me end and then we come back. So Erica, I'm going to send you a new link. Okay?
okay.